from New York, Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
It's Ebro in the morning, Laura Styles, Rosenberg, and we are here today to celebrate a moment. I think some legends, if you will, the Gorillaz, or at least a portion of the Gorillaz are here. Give it up for them. Let's start with the originator of the idea of the Gorillaz, which, Damon, you are the brain behind what the Gorillaz are. Yes?
Yeah, I suppose I am, in the sense that I was there right at the beginning. But I mean, it's never been just me. I mean,
yes. But the animation part, you did the music, and then your partner did the animation.
My partner Jamie Hewlett, we were sharing a apartment at the time, and I'd bought this new TV. It was one of the first of the new generation. It was, I think it was, what would it have been? It was grey and huge, and you could watch 10 shows at once. And, you know,
so what was that, the picture-in-picture thing where you just put up the little boxes and you could watch 2 or 3 channels at the same time?
We're talking like 1999, which might seem like a long time ago. But it's only like yesterday for me. And we were just watching shit, and just thought, well, this is really irritating us, and there's so much fake. I mean, this was the time of this was the beginning of the boy band sort of explosion.
That was Backstreet Boys and 98
all
Degrees.
All of that stuff, and it just felt so manufactured. And it's like, we were like, well, let's make a manufactured band, but make it kind of interesting. So he's a cartoonist. I'm a musician. I went away to my studio the next day, just got my keyboards out, made a few tunes. He went to his studio, drew a few pictures. We came back in the evening and realized we had something.
And that was the forming of the Gorillaz.
Yeah.
Which that was finally, the project came out in 2001.
Yeah.
And the Gorillaz album.
That was the Gorillaz album, and that was the joint that had Del. The hit was the joint with Del on it.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
I have 45. Why?
And that was the first rapper I'd ever worked with. So I mean, it was a massive deal for me.
Well, and for the record, that was the first virtual kind of reality thing at that time. Like you created a whole world.
Yeah. That
was not real, and
well, I think in a way we were kind of sort of preparing for now, really, back then, in the sense that, you know, we wanted to exist in the virtual world, and there really wasn't much opportunity then. I think we made one of the first ever kind of websites for a band, you know, with rooms you could go into, and I mean, back then, compared to now, it seems ridiculously sort of primitive. You know, telephones weren't. I mean, there wasn't any social media.
There were no telephones back then. No. It was.
I still have one of those telephones. Well, I can show you this now.
Oh, you have it on you?
Some people get quite shocked when they see my telephone.
Wow, those were dope. The Nokia. That was that Nokia is dope. It has an FM radio in it. You could just
does have an FM radio. Just put your headphones.
Can I see which one is this? This is the
Fred Flintstone.
This was in the UK, because here we didn't have this one.
This was the fat one.
We had the fatter ones, the 6160s, which were popping. So why? Since you were the musical leader of the group.
Yeah, I mean, for probably a lot of people listening, but I'd been in music for 10 years previously in a band called Blur. So for me, it was such a liberation to just get back to the thing I'd started off when I was a teenager. It was just keyboards, synthesizers. You know, I spent 10 years being in a rock band.
And Blur was mage. I mean, Blur had a big run also.
Yeah, I mean, we had one big song in America, Song 2.
But that song 2 is it was a big song. But why the rap artists that you chose? Like, there is such a theme of sort of underground heroes kind of that you chose over the years.
You know what? It's always been something led by the producers I work with. So it was Dan the Automator back then, and
Del was his man.
He worked on Deltron and that stuff. And then when I worked with Danger Mouse, it was a similar kind of a similar sort of process. But actually, Poss, we met independently from all of that.
Oh, you're talking about Poss News from De La Soul.
He just happens to be hanging out. And we also have Pusha T on the phone, which we will get to in a minute. Push, are you there? Hello?
Hey, fix your.
He's not ready yet. He's
not ready.
No. Back to that. All right, continue on with rapper talk. Go.
No, you were saying how you mentioned getting to Paz and De La Soul.
Yeah.
How do we get to that part? You were saying the producer often led to the rap artist. What about these guys?
Well, because I don't come from that world, so for me, it's always been a voyage of discovery. I mean, this time around with Tone, introduced Twilight Tone here.
Twilight Tone, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up? Hey, everybody.
Step close to the
Microphone.
mic. If people don't
What's
know
up,
you, where would they know
everybody?
you from?
Man, I produced Common's first 3 albums.
Trash. I wasn't really a fan.
You know what I mean? Mercy,
Classics, by the way.
Mercy, Kanye West, John Legend, Nostalgia, Pusha T.
I take it you're from Chicago.
And
He's
I like
definitely from Chicago.
underground disco house music. I still spin with vinyl.
Yo, were you talking at the beginning of Take It Easy by Common?
That's me.
Yo, I'm so fucking hip hop that I just recognize your voice from the intro. Yo, some people on the smooth tip, and sometimes be yourself and just take it easy.
Well, Tone is originally some of the original house scene. You were playing records when you was very young back then, right?
In teenage years.
In Chicago, yeah.
yeah.
Yo, how do both of y'all have been around so long and don't look like it? Like, Paz, you don't age, period. You look literally, it's like you dropped me, myself, and I yesterday.
Without the hair.
I was about to say that hairline.
Yo,
got
Ebro,
about
you want to have some vegetable and water talk? I mean,
I'm sure he eats his vegetables.
Oh,
you eat
yeah, I do.
vegetables out
How's
here?
your
A lot
water
of
game?
vegetables.
Vegetables and water.
Vegetables and water.
Well, because I've been on a rant all week because I finally realized this week that a lot of the rappers that annoy us, the young rappers anyway. Annoy me,
Yes.
fine. Yachty came out and said that he's never had vegetables before. And I was like, well, that's the problem.
The irony of
There's
Yachty
the problem.
and being on a song called Broccoli and never eating vegetables.
Yeah, but that's why
I can't get over this.
That's why they don't think clear. They don't
Right.
think clear. They don't listen
Fried
well.
foods. It's too much fried food.
It's too much fast food, fried food, soda.
I have a question from a logistical standpoint of the Gorillaz. How long was the process for doing everything, like visually, from the very beginning? And I'm sure it's gotten maybe easier as
just
years
to give you
go
an
on.
idea of the logistics, the last time we played the States on the Plastic Beach tour, we had seven buses just for artists.
7 buses for artists. Yeah, I know, because you guys came to do an interview and your list of guests just to come here was 900 people.
We thought it was a live performance we didn't know about. We was like, yo, we're doing a concert? Well, I saw you guys at the Apollo, which was an amazing show.
Wow, when was that?
This was 2005?
With Ike
Six?
Turner.
Yeah? Now, the show was,
Ike was
on
on that.
stage, the animation was
Hopper.
happening,
Okay.
right? But they had puppets for the characters in the Gorillaz, like in the balconies, talking to the audience, and then they would go to the stage. Am I remembering it right?
Yeah,
And then it
and,
was-
and now the technology is such that we can have the actors who do the voices of the characters. They can be in these incredible like bodysuits with all of these sensors around them,
Yes, yeah.
and someone can in a studio talk to the animated characters, the 2D animated characters live. So you can just
Well, you did that with Mr. Jam. Mr.
Yeah.
Jam interviewed you guys,
exactly,
which was awesome.
But the technology involved in just pulling that off is, if you're talking about logistics,
A lot.
it's expensive, it's time consuming. That's why no one else does it.
right.
How do you make any money? Are you able
Don't make any money. It's not
You
about
don't-
money.
So you don't make money with this
passion
project particularly?
He pays his bills. Bills are paid. Everybody's happy,
At any
but
point,
you spend more than you make. I'm sure is the issue.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, but I love it. I mean, I wouldn't. You know, you were on that last tour. I mean, I get
a lot.
emotional
There's a
just
lot of
thinking
buses.
about it.
I was on bus too.
Wow, big bus busters. That's how you know you're a legend.
well, at any point, I had a question. At the very beginning, right, when you guys first started bubbling before, like you guys came up with the concept of the virtual band.
Yeah.
When it started blowing, at any point were any of the members like, man, it's cool being like these characters, but did they ever feel like a little resentment being that they didn't get the recognition from actually walking down the street or being out at like physically in a human form? Was there ever any kind of regret, like, damn, when are we actually going to really show our faces and,
What,
and be recognized?
myself?
Or any of the band members?
Well, the first tour we did behind a screen. We did a whole American tour
right.
behind a screen, and all you could see were silhouettes occasionally, but it was mostly animation. So we were playing big places. You know, they'd have like 4,000, 5,000 people. And for someone who just spent the last 10 years out front being a front man, it was really weird experience. And I have to say, some nights I wanted to get a knife and just
And cut it.
and stick my head through. But I didn't. I don't know whether I'd want to do that again, but I'm glad I did it. Joe, at the time, I mean, I really tried to keep that anonymity going, but it was really difficult.
No, I remember
Really
even
difficult.
when we did Lisbon at the awards, and it was just
yeah.
cool where we're performing with holograms, and Damon, he didn't even come. Like, you were back in, I think, UK. Jamie came to Lisbon, and they're in the crowd, and it's like holograms. It's like, yo, like,
Yeah, but I mean,
we don't even have to be here.
we've
That's
been
dope.
working with holograms. I mean,
I'm
trying
jealous.
to get
I want to do
holograms
that for
to
this
work.
show.
But I mean, when we opened the Grammys, when was it? 2005.
Oh, with Madonna.
Yeah, but that was tough because you were on stage.
Mm-hmm.
But the technology then was actually a Victorian technology. It was proper smoke and mirrors. There was nothing really technical about it at all. I mean, on television it looked incredible. But we opened the Grammys. This was my big moment. I was there. I was obscured by Bono's Stetson hat, which was slightly annoying. But, I got over that, and they started, and it was so quiet because it's got this piece of like film that you have to pull over the stage, and so any bass frequencies would just mess up the illusion completely. So we start this thing, and no one really thinks even that the Grammys have started because it's so quiet. So everyone's still in,
Walking
checking
around, talking,
themselves
yeah.
and doing all that bullshit. On television, it looked great, but this was my moment. I was, and people just talking around me, didn't even notice what was going on. And then, so Madonna walks from being a hologram onto the other side of the stage where she's doing her thing, and the volume just goes up by 100 times. And suddenly everyone's like paying attention, So I felt a little bit kind of cheated.
Award show, let's
by
be
that.
honest. Being at award shows sucks. I
I
mean,
hate
we've all
it.
been to them.
I
I hate
hate
it.
it.
I hate them. I don't know. You guys like award shows?
There's
The
upside
television
and
production is much better. Watching it on
Yes.
television is a much better experience.
And you can flip the channel when there's a performance you don't care about.
Talk about it. Let's get into this album, Humans. It's out this Friday.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. And on the album, Pusha T. Pusha.
Yo, what up?
Ugh.
You got Rosenberg,
It's
Laura,
right.
Twilight Tone, Damon, Pastanusa is here.
What up, Push?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Push, you're on a record on this Gorillaz album with the legend Mavis Staples
Yes.
called Let Me Out.
Shout out to Gorillaz for the amazing alley-oop. Yes.
Yo, so how did this, you guys just, Tone, was this your idea?
Yeah.
Or this was...
Yeah, I wanted to create a conversation between the youth and the elders that I thought was missing in not only in pop culture but in the community as a whole. So I thought, who better to get Pusha T and Mavis Staples to do that?
Wow.
And Pusha, did you know Mavis was going to be on the record when they asked you about it?
I don't believe so. I had took a trip to London and we had met up in London, and I don't remember that being a part of the of what I had to rhyme to.
And when did you hear the final version of the record? Because I know oftentimes you get sent a record, you rhyme, and then
No. I heard it before the album, and I was like, wait a minute, maybe Staples is like really on this joint. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, it was crazy. Like I thought it was crazy. I was like, man, I know this is something like my mother was gonna love as well.
Yes, sir.
Well, so now we're looking at the album Humans, out tomorrow. Vince Staples, Popcon.
Wow, Vince Staples and Mavis Staples, same album. Unbelievable.
Unrelated. They're not even related.
No. Staple singers.
Right, Staples singers.
Drum is also on the album.
Super ill.
And so how does it work, Dame? You come up with which parts of the idea, and then Tone comes up with which parts of the idea.
Well, it's it's a collaboration. It always is,
Yep.
And sometimes it's mercurial.
Have you heard the song Fire and Desire by Tina Marie and Rick James?
Yes.
That same thing. That same passion and fury and love. And
And we have some crazy ideas, and sometimes, I mean, if I talk about the people that weren't on this record that we tried to get, like Sade, like Rick Ross, like Morrissey.
Wait, Rick Ross was too busy, you telling me?
Well, we spoke to Rick.
We got to talk to him
did
about
speak
that.
to him, and he,
Nobody got death threats. We
No.
thought it was successful.
Cali
I
Uchis
felt
is on a
there's
couple of
a man.
records. If you know
Yeah.
about Anthony Hamilton,
Yes, sir.
Grace Jones,
Yes.
Danny Brown,
Yes, yes.
of course De La Soul.
Yes, yes,
Kalila.
Any big names I'm missing that I should?
Carly
bring?
Simon.
Carly Simon
I'm just Carly.
is on here, and
Whoa.
yeah, just Carly Simon.
Yeah.
26 songs.
Just call it.
Yeah.
Noel
and it's
Gallagher.
been and it's
Noel
been
Gallagher.
Oasis.
Jenny Beth.
oh wow,
Jenny
Jenny
Beth,
Beth,
the
yes, Savages, yes.
All right.
There's a lot of people on this.
Kalela.
Popcorn.
Kalela.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
I
said
said
Popcorn?
Popcorn already. But why? Not a lot of
Yeah.
people are putting 26 songs out these days. A
But we
lot of
don't
people
call it
are-
an album now, do we? We call it
a project,
we call it a playlist. Is that
A
the
saga.
latest?
We
is
call
that
it
the
a saga.
A saga.
a saga. Why 26 joints this time?
There are a lot more than that. I think it's just about trying to edit it down to something that has some sort of narrative. You know,
Yeah.
And is there going to be the
giving people a world to go into for the length of that record without having to like switch to something else. I mean, it's ambitious in this day and age,
very
really,
much,
to expect people to listen to a whole record. It just doesn't work like that now, does
Right.
it? But
So you wanted to put out enough
I'm
for
really
people
old
to-
school like that.
You wanted to either to put out enough for people to choose from, or if they wanted to
Sure.
experience the whole thing.
Well, obviously we'd like them to listen to the whole thing because there's a sort of narrative to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's 26 songs because that was completes the statement. If it was only if it was 4 songs that completed the statement, it'd
Yeah,
be 4
no,
songs.
sure.
It took 26 songs to complete the statement.
And what
needed
is
to
the
be made.
What is the statement?
Well, I mean, the idea we had 2 really strong ideas.
Mhm.
The first one was it had to have every tune had to kind of encapsulate pain, joy, and urgency.
That was the mantra: pain, joy, and
Yeah.
urgency.
And this ridiculous idea, which we started talking about in January last year,
Yep.
about imagine the world on the night that Donald Trump wins
The election. What would the world be like?
How
At
would
that
you
time, it
feel?
was far-fetched and fictional.
Wow.
That's how Let Me Out was described to me. Before
Yeah,
I heard any beat, before I heard anything, that's where my verse came from.
So what happens is, if you listen to Let Me Out, we edit out certain words, and we do that purposely because we didn't want to date the music. So words like Obama and Orlando and Trump are edited out because this album is not political.
No.
You know what I mean? As it is, it's just in the zeitgeist of what is social and what is happening with communication, and now this new appendage that we have attached to our bodies called our smartphones, and how we look through this lens for everything. Even when we go to movies, some people can't watch a movie without looking at it through the smartphone. So, like Damon was saying, it's like when we started this project and we came up with the narrative, like it was, like I said, it's far-fetched
That Donald Trump would be the
a
president.
person, not even
And then, I
Donald
mean, there
Trump,
were
a
points
person
where
like that.
there were points later on when we started. We maybe should stop making this record because
I think we're doing witchcraft or something.
Right, it's getting too real.
Well, hit him with a congratulations, you pledged yourself.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You heard it here first. Hot take. It is the Gorillaz' fault that Donald Trump is president.
It's all a part of the marketing campaign.
I mean,
watch
first-
out. We went to the
David
party.
and Twilight
we went
Zone
into
take
the
full
room.
responsibility.
There was different kind of
Posse
people
News
in the
has
room.
slid away from those people.
No, listen.
Now,
This album's going to be the biggest album. Watch out. Illuminati is in everybody's house.
Yep.
I'm scared as I talk.
First Pusha T endorses Hillary Clinton.
That's
My
right.
baby
Then
ain't a
y'all
dingo.
start doing this. Before we know it, Donald Trump's president.
No doubt.
By the way, not only do you have incredible, ridiculous array of musicians, you have like arguably the best actor in the world doing all your interludes, Ben Mendelsohn
Oh, okay. I
from
thought you was thinking
Bloodline.
James
Oh,
Earl
my
Jones
God,
was
I
not
love
on the
that.
record.
Oh yeah, no, James Earl Jones is tight too. But Ben Mendelsohn, if you ever watch Bloodline, that's my experience with him. He's done a lot of stuff, but that's like my. How did that come to be? And he seems to be like a constant voice throughout the album as well.
yeah, I mean, we've got a whole film's worth of him just riffing at like 3, 4 in the morning. Some interesting
Is he a crazy
stuff.
man? What's he like?
Yes.
Because that's what it's. we had Leguizamo up here,
Yeah,
and
Leguizamo
Leguizamo was on
said,
Bloodline as well, and he was talking about how incredible he was, but about how he is an interesting dude all the time.
I'm hoping to get him to come on stage in his Rogue One kind of persona.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's in Star Wars as well.
Fuse franchises, you know, try and get in on that.
So Damon, what's the tour gonna look like this time? What do we, you know, because I'm coming. I'm definitely. You guys are performing in New York?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can we?
We're performing everywhere, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's already out here.
Is the tour dates out? I haven't looked.
Sold out.
Sold out.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So
Congratulations, you played yourself.
that means I can't.
Well, I'm
get
just
the dates
stumped in a
out.
bit.
I'm late and I didn't realize that this happened. How quickly did it sell out?
Really quickly.
Don't worry, they're just playing a little venue on September 15th. It's an intimate affair at Citi Field. So,
Oh.
Just them and a few of their friends.
yeah, a
That's
few
it.
of their friends in Queens if you want to go do that. Now, Paz, how many of these shows are you doing?
Pretty much all of them.
So, yeah, that's a really cool thing. So, you guys decided at some point, because a lot of people do collaboration albums, and you know when you go see the show that you're not getting the whole collective. I mean, even Wu-Tang, who is a group, you might be like, oh, well, Ghost might not be at this show, or Old Dirty might not be at this show. You guys seem to be really focused on when you bring people in, like, Paz is like part of the Gorillaz, even though he's just a feature player throughout. Is that how you guys view it?
Plus his family. I
Yeah,
mean,
we're
like,
family at this point. Yeah, definitely.
But like but it is rare that people that's like of the artists you have listed on this album, how many will end up performing at the shows?
At some point, there will be everyone.
Everyone will get
Literally
there.
Everyone will be there. I mean, you can't expect Mavis Staples to do all the shows, but she's definitely going to do some of them. Grace Jones is, to say the least, enigmatic and quite hard to locate on occasions. But
You
I'm
don't
very,
say.
I'm
Strange? Strange tough to get?
I'm confident that we will locate her at some point.
Paz, how much of a bonus has the like you and I have never talked about this. We've talked many times about what the Gorillaz opportunity has sort of played in your life. Because I mean, first of all, first time we've seen you, congratulations on the Grammy nomination and the Anonymous Nobody.
Thank you.
But like you guys have had plenty of downtime in the De La years. And how much of a role has the Gorillaz work played in your career?
I mean, it definitely, after us linking with the Gorillaz, a lot of young people came on, and they really loved the song. Of course, I mean, Feel Good was a big major hit.
Well, you missed out on that one.
Yeah, I missed out.
You were getting a haircut.
Well, no. I'll tell you that story. So in meeting, chill. So we were finishing up Grind Day, and we linked, through mutual friends about like, yo, would you want to be a part of the Gorillaz and blah blah blah, like be a part of the record. So we was like, cool. So we had to hand in, Matthew Knowles is sitting in the studio with us because, we was on Sanctuary Urban. And, but we had already linked with Damon. Damon had sent me a few tracks. The track that I loved was Kids with Guns.
Yeah.
So me and Dave, we wrote rhymes to that, but we flew to London, met with him. He rolls up on his bike. We go to the studio.
Of course you did.
And no, it was dope. It was just like from meeting him from the beginning, it was just a great chemistry immediately. So we worked on Kids with Guns, did what we had to do, finished the job, and then he sits down and is like, yo, he starts playing Dave music. Dave hears the instrumental or the music to Feel Good and loses it and is like, I want to rhyme on that. I'm sitting out, and the next thing I know, Dave is rhymed on the record. I'm like, yo, what happened? So from there, we were supposed to like figure out some skits for Kids with Guns, and Dame was like, so yo, you got until like about, I think we may have did it like mid in the summer or something. He was like, we got until like November to hand in the record, and the next thing I know, I'm not on Feel Good because I just didn't make it. I didn't make it because he wanted me to put rhymes down once Dave did. But I was trying to complete rhymes to shopping bags.
Oh,
because I had to hand in shopping bags.
I remember
the next day.
That's a nice little ditty.
Well, that's what happened.
That one did pretty well for you.
That's why I'm not on it,
But it's on this one.
And Pusha, you going on tour also with the Gorillaz? I think we lost Push.
No. You ain't lose me. I'm here. I'm here, and I'm there.
And Pusha, you doing all the dates? And where's your album? Are you gonna pull the I'm working on my album, I missed the date with the Gorillaz thing like Paz did?
Nah, man, no, man. I am working on my album right now, but I'm definitely gonna catch some of the dates. We've already discussed it. I think we already locked a few of them in.
There it is. And before we let you out of here, what for the fans of the Gorillaz that have been there since the beginning, sonically, what's different about this project? I don't know, Tone and Damon, this is your world. What did you guys do differently?
I mean, it's our chemistry this time round.
I'm here.
Yeah, and
he's here. We're together. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was a bit ignorant about the Gorillaz, which I was actually happy about because we came to the project with a clean slate. I wasn't trying to recreate anything they did before. I wasn't
it's not
trying
meant to be recreated. It's
Yes,
meant to be new
no,
every
not at all.
time.
I'm not trying to live up to what Dan the Automator or Danger Mouse did or accomplished. I want to go to another ethos, another space, and it was based off of. It wasn't based on I sent in a beat tape or a beat CD or whatever. It was based off of we had a Skype conversation and we just
With
laughed.
Remy, we give Remy a
Oh,
shout
and
out.
Remy.
Kabaka.
Yeah,
He's not here.
Remy was there.
He's the
and
third person
in the triad.
Yeah.
So it was the conversation again that we were able to create from.
Got it.
And that's and just to answer your question directly, what's different sonically about it is that we chose not to use any analog or any samples. We chose to deal only with electronic instruments and try to do something modern. Try to do something new, not futuristic and not nostalgic. Something right here now. So that I believe when you embark on that journey, you have it's the possibility and potential to create something timeless. Now that's for the audience to determine and for time to be added to that to determine that.
And the biggest fights between you two, because before we started this conversation, you guys gave me the, I guess the idea that there's definitely a great, but friction at times between both Tone and.
Well,
and
what great relationship doesn't have friction?
True.
I could tell you through this project, my own humanity was. I discovered my own humanity, and that brought me to where I'm at now, and brought maturity to me, not only as a producer.
You're tearing up about it, like it was,
but as a man. And I just want to say to everybody that's black in America that you can't work with white people and things will work out for you.
Nothing whiter than a British white man.
I love America. I love Illuminati. I see you tomorrow night. We're going to do this meeting. We're going to get this money, motherfucker.